47 pesos. That is what is sitting in the GCash right now. Not 4,700, not 47,000. 47 pesos. And petsa de peligro is still 5 days away. 3 credit cards, 2 lending apps, a group chat full of utang reminders from friends you stopped reading weeks ago, and a savings account, if you can still call it that, sitting at flat 0. If that felt too familiar, stay here, because the person sitting right next to you at that BPO company in Ortigas, same floor, same shift, same 35,000 peso salary. They are carrying 380,000 pesos in a government savings account, growing at over 7% a year, and they have never once touched it. Same income, same 7-Eleven coffee, same commute. The only difference is diskarte, and one decision made years ago. Today we break down exactly what that decision looks like, step by step in real peso terms. Walang bola, katotohanan lang. Let's start at the bottom. Zero judgment here. Surviving this economy is genuinely hard, and if you're still standing, that's already something. Think about what the monthly cycle actually looks like. The sahot lands, and within 3 days, most of it is already distributed. Rent, electric bill, water, groceries, pamasahe, maybe one budol purchase you'd rather not think about. By week 2, the calculator comes out. And the question is, can 500 pesos stretch another 10 days? And here's the part that makes it worse. Gastos on food has been climbing without a pause. Based on data from the Philippine Statistics Authority, a kilo of rice that used to cost around 45 pesos now sits closer to 55 to 60 pesos in most wet markets. Pamasahe went up, electricity went up, the budget that used to stretch to the 30th now collapses around the 20th. There is no leftover. There is no moment where the remaining balance quietly waits to become IPON, because the money always finds somewhere to go. And that is not a character flaw. That is just how money behaves when there's no structure around it. Finance people call this the spend first, save the scraps trap. And it is the single biggest reason people arrive at 40 with nothing saved. The fix is simple to explain and genuinely hard to execute. So I'll be straight with you. You have to pay yourself before the bills get their turn. A fixed amount, even just 500 pesos, leaves the account the same day the salary arrives. Before you see it, before you plan around it, before it becomes part of your mental budget. If your company offers payroll deduction, that 10-minute conversation with HR this week is the most valuable financial move you can make right now. What never touches your hands cannot be spent. That is the diskarte, and it costs nothing to set up. Once survival stabilizes, most people land on the same conclusion. Earn more and the problem solves itself. Earning more helps, but none of it matters if the gastos habits stay the same. More income with the same patterns just produces more expensive utang. Philippine consumer credit surged by more than 21% year-on-year in late 2025. Credit cards drove roughly 40% of that growth. And that figure doesn't even include the online lending apps sitting on millions of phones across the country. Those apps deserve a real conversation because the cost is something most borrowers never actually calculate. Under BSP regulations, the maximum interest rate on short-term online loans sits at 6% per month. Run that out to a full year and it becomes 72% annually. On a 5,000 peso loan, roughly the price of a decent pair of rubber shoes, the total repayment with fees and penalties can reach 8,600 pesos. And under the total cost cap, a 10,000 peso loan can legally cost you 20,000 pesos by the time it's fully settled. Read that again slowly. The lending app is not designed to help you through a rough patch. It is designed to keep you in one. If you are carrying utang right now, credit card balance, lending app, salary loan, anything, that becomes the priority before everything else on this list. Write every balance down, smallest to largest. Attack the smallest one with every spare peso you can send at it until it is gone. The moment that first debt closes, that same monthly payment becomes ammunition for the next one. That method is called the debt snowball, and it works not because of math, but because small wins are what keep people moving. Clear the trap first, then we climb. This next part is the one most personal finance channels skip. We are not skipping it. Utang na loob. In Filipino culture, and this is both beautiful and genuinely painful at the same time, the expectation is that you take care of your parents, your siblings, the cousin who needs tuition, the tita calling about hospital bills, the lolo whose maintenance medication runs 3,000 pesos a month. And that padala every month is not optional. It is who you are. Research across 18,000 working-age people confirmed that Filipinos in their 30s and 40s carry the most severe financial pressure of any age group. The sandwich generation. At this exact stage of life, 91% of us are managing peak household gastos, while simultaneously, 69% of us are sending money home to parents every single month. You are feeding from both ends of your plate while somehow being expected to build IPON on the side. The research points to something worth sitting with. Even when the knowledge of what to do financially is present, the actual behavior gets pulled in a different direction by family obligations. The understanding exists, the execution stall. Here is the honest version. Taking care of your own financial future is not selfishness. It is the most responsible thing you can do for the same people you're trying to protect. Think about where the road leads. Arriving at 60 with no IPON, no pension, no savings. That means your children become your financial plan. The cycle doesn't end. It just rotates you into a new position inside it. The real utang na loob, the deeper one, is making sure the next generation does not have to carry you the way you carried your parents. That does not mean cutting off the family. It means setting a fixed monthly number for household support and protecting everything above that line for your own future. That conversation is hard. It is also the honest one. Stay here for a few minutes because this is where the actual money lives. Pag-IBIG MP2, the modified Pag-IBIG 2, runs as a voluntary savings program sitting on top of your regular Pag-IBIG contributions. Two things separated from almost everything else available to ordinary workers. The principal is 100% guaranteed by the Philippine government, and every single peso of dividend earnings comes out tax-free. The 2025 dividend rate landed at 7.12%. A regular bank savings account pays 0.5% to 1%. You are looking at returns more than 7 times higher with zero risk to your principal. And the minimum IPON is only 500 pesos per remittance, roughly 1 latang sardinas and a cup of 50 peso coffee. 5 years, 5,000 pesos a month. The dividends reinvest, the number grows. After 15 years, at 7.12%, 1.6 million pesos. 5,000 pesos a month into MP2, running 3 consecutive 5-year cycles at 7.12% produces approximately 1.6 million pesos by age 55. In 2025 alone, Pag-IBIG declared 64.34 billion pesos in total dividends, the highest payout in the agency's 45-year history. The dividend rate has climbed 3 consecutive years in a row. Layer on top of that, the SSS voluntary MySSS pension booster, formerly WISP+. Minimum is also 500 pesos a month. Projected annual dividend rate runs at around 7.2%. Unlike MP2, this one compounds continuously with no 5-year cycle to manage. 5,000 pesos a month into the SSS booster for 15 years at 7.2% produces approximately 1.61 million pesos. MP2, 1.6 million pesos plus SSS booster. 1.6 million pesos equals 3.2 million pesos tax-free savings from 2 government programs at 10,000 pesos a month combined. That total does not include the regular SSS monthly pension paid for life starting at retirement. It also does not include the statutory retirement pay your employer is legally required to provide under RA 7641, which on a 35,000 peso monthly salary with 15 years of service works out to roughly 454,000 pesos as a lump sum. Tayo, do the math. The full picture at age 55 sits above 3.6 million pesos. Not a Bonifacio High Street condo, not a beach house in Batangas, but enough to live with dignity, enough to never require financial rescue from your children, enough to actually sleep through the night. Tier 4 is not a fantasy. It is what the math from Tier 3 makes possible when you let it keep working. Take that 3.6 million pesos total at age 55 and place it into a conservative fixed income vehicle, government bonds, a UITF, or another MP2 cycle. At 5% to 6% per year, that account generates roughly 15,000 pesos to 18,000 pesos per month in passive income, with the regular SSS monthly pension arriving on top of that. That is not yacht money, and we are not pretending otherwise. But that is freedom money. The kind where you do not have to accept every struggling opportunity that walks through the door just to make the month work. The kind where you can turn down a toxic client without running the numbers first. The kind where your kids never have to send you an allowance. The path to that starts at 500 pesos a month, open today, not after the next promotion, not after the next tax refund, not after the next right time. Because the right time for building IPON was yesterday, and the second best option is right now. Step 1. Walk to your HR office this week and ask about voluntary payroll deductions for Pag-IBIG MP2. Many companies run this as a free service. Once the deduction is authorized, the contribution leaves your paycheck before you ever see it. Automate the diskarte and let the system do the work. Step 2. Open the MySSS online portal and enroll in the voluntary MySSS pension booster. Starting at 500 pesos is fine. Staying in the program for at least 5 years matters. That is the threshold where 100% of your earned investment income is credited back to you with zero penalty. Step 3. Write down every utang you carry, every credit card, every lending app balance, every informal loan. You cannot build a plan around debt you have not fully faced. Smallest to largest, Attack the smallest first. Step 4. Ask HR whether your company maintains a qualified private retirement plan under RA 4917. These plans can provide a tax-free lump sum separate from SSS. If no qualified plan exists, your RA 7641 statutory benefit still applies. At least 1/2 month salary for every year of service. Step 5. Calculate your sleep at night number. Take your current monthly gastos, multiply by 3. That becomes your emergency fund target. Sitting liquid, untouched, earning nothing fancy, just existing as the buffer between you and the next debt cycle. Here's what nobody tells you. 40 is not too late. It is late enough to feel the urgency, and that urgency is actually the advantage. Use it. The math works. The government programs are real and currently paying record returns. The path exists, and the first step costs 500 pesos. Magkano ang sleep at night fund mo right now? Drop the number in the comments. 0, 50,000, 1 month of expenses. Whatever the honest answer is, write it down. Naming the number is the first real move toward changing it. And if you're done with just daily hard work every year, while the gap between your income and your IPON stays exactly the same, hit subscribe. Every week, real numbers, real government programs, real diskarte for regular Pinoys building something better. Tayo naman, we have earned the right to plan for a future worth arriving at. Pero wait, what if you're not in a BPO? What if your company has no HR department, no payroll deduction, no private retirement plan? Next video, the exact same ladder we built for freelancers, contractuals, and self-employed Pinoys. Ibang setup, same destination. See you there.